Hello. Hey guys, what's up? I'm Connor from the Dookie Boys here, and... Okay, why does this setup seem oddly familiar? Hey guys, what's up? I'm Connor from the Connor Land Show. Wow. Okay, Connor from the Dookie Boys here, and today I'm going to be giving you guys a review. By the way, you're not wondering this, but I'm going to tell you anyways. This is the original recording room that I had for the Connor Land Show for CD reviews, which is going to be what we're doing today, a CD review or an album review, because I refer to them as albums now because I know more about music. Yeah, today I'm going to be reviewing an album by a band that, ever since I first heard of them, they used to be my favorite band of all time. So did any other band I really got into. But now that I look at it and I look back at the artists that I've listened to through my life, this is my 5th favorite band of all time. Who's this band? Linkin Park. What's the album? The Hunting Party. What are we going to do? We're going to review it. Alright, so as I said, today we're going to be reviewing the new album by Linkin Park, which is entitled The Hunting Party. This is Linkin Park's 6th album that they released. This album came out on June 17th, 2013. 14. I forgot what year it was. June 17th, 2014. Which is a Tuesday, by the way. Someone leave in the comments, why do albums come out on Tuesdays? Why is Tuesday new album release day? I never got that. Why? Yeah, this album came out, and honestly, I'm gonna be honest. When this album was released, the reason why I figured out about it, probably because of you, probably you also about this, is because of if you have it on your iPhone, the app Shazam. It's pretty much one of those things where I've always wanted them to have an app like this, and now it exists. It's one of those apps where, let's say you're driving in your car and you hear a song on the radio, and you really, really like that song, but you don't know what it's called, and you don't know who the band's by. You're like, oh, this song sounds pretty good. Who's it by? Pull out your phone, open Shazam, boom, know the song. Product placement, where's my money? But anyways, on that app you can actually follow artists, I think. Well, that's what I did. You can actually follow artists. One of the artists that I followed was the band Linkin Park. And apparently Chester Bennington and Mike Shinoda released on there that they released a new single song, which was called Guilty All the Same, featuring the rap artist from the golden age of rap and hip-hop, Rakim. The song was called Guilty All the Same. Now I heard the song, and I was like, wow, this sounds pretty awesome, but why are they releasing a new song? Oh, they're releasing a new album this year, which comes out in 2 months, I think. Whenever I heard it, they said it was coming out in the summer, and I was like, oh, a new Linkin Park album. Wow, it's been 2 years since a Linkin Park album came out. Why are they now waiting only 2 years to release albums? I mean, it used to be like, the gap between Hybrid Theory and Meteora was 3 years. The gap between Meteora and Minutes to Midnight was 4 years, and the gap between Minutes to Midnight and 1,000 Suns was 3 years, and then Living Things came out 2 years after 1,000 Suns, and now this album came out 2 years after Living Things. I'm sorry, but I want a band to have a little more waiting time before a new album comes out. Or is that just me? But yeah, after Guilty All the Same came out, they released 2 other, well, kind of 3 other singles, which were called Until It's Gone, Wastelands, and the latest one, which is called Final at Masquerade, which are all songs off of this album. No shit, right? But this video is not talking about the history behind how this album came out. This video is a review on if the album's good or not. And is it? Hell yeah, it is. Before I get started talking about this album, I need to bring up something. If you were a fan of the Connor Landon Show, Connor Landon Show had fans. But yeah, if you were a fan of the Connor Landon Show, you know that a really, really long time ago, I think like 3 years ago, no, 2 years ago, yeah, 2 years ago when the album Living Things came out, I made a Linkin Park discography review. And in that discography review, when I got to Living Things, I said that Living Things was my 2nd favorite album by Linkin Park. Boy, did that change. I'd say that now, after I review this, I'm going to say which spot it's in. But up till when Living Things came out, now that this album's out, up until this album came out, my top 5 favorite Linkin Park albums now is my favorite album by Linkin Park ever is Meteora. I'd give that album a perfect 10 out of 10. Little cliche, but you know, it's my favorite album by a band. It's gonna be up there, especially if they're one of my favorite bands. By the way, new rule: I can't break the over 10 mark. We have to put 10 out of 10, nothing greater. Sure, we can say this album deserves greater than a 10 out of 10. Never gonna go over 10 out of 10 though. Yeah, my second favorite album by Linkin Park that was ever put out, Hybrid Theory. It's Hybrid Theory. You have to like that. Third favorite album by them, which has changed. It used to be my least favorite album by them. This is gonna surprise most of you, and I'll explain why it's there. A Thousand Suns. I love that album. Great concept album. Has a lot of good melodies in there. Some of my favorite songs by Linkin Park are on that album, including Iridescent, Wretches and Kings, which is awesome, probably the best song off the album, When They Come For Me, and Waiting for the End, and Iridescent. 5 songs that are probably in my top favorite songs by Linkin Park. The Catalyst is also good. Not one of my favorites by Linkin Park, but it's still a pretty good song. But yeah, number 3, Thousand Suns. Number 4, Minutes to Midnight. Not saying it's a bad album, but it's just my 4th favorite album by them. Yeah, by the way, I would give Hybrid Theory a 9.5 out of 10, and I would give A Thousand Suns a 9 out of 10, and give Minutes to Midnight an 8.5 out of 10. Now that I've really listened to it, now that I've really critiqued it, and now that I've really looked back at the history of Linkin Park and all that stuff, Living Things is now my least favorite album by Linkin Park. 7 out of 10. I'm sorry. They're my favorite. They're my 5th favorite band of all time. Now that I look back at it, that album's okay. It's not that good. It's not. I'm not saying it's not that good. It's all right. It's not really. It's not good. It's not bad. It's just okay. It's passable with me. There's some songs in there that I really enjoy and I really like. Powerless is an awesome song. Lies, Greed, Misery, Burn It Down, of course. Lost in the Echo, and what's it called? Roads Untraveled. Those are all great songs. But songs like Until It Breaks, I don't really like that song. In My Remains is alright. The song I'll Be Gone is okay. Some of the songs on there are just not that good, though, and it's alright. Moving on to the Hunting Party. Yeah, Hunting Party. What is good about this album? Well, I'll do a track review. How about that? So the album starts off with the very first song, which is called Keys to the Kingdom. This song starts out really freaking cool. I was surprised when I first heard this song. Keys to the Kingdom, I thought it was just going to be one of those melodic songs by Linkin Park, and in a way it kind of is, but in the beginning of it has Chester Bennington screaming in the beginning of it. Sounds really cool, and it's also like kind of distorted and enhanced on his voice, which sounds freaking awesome, by the way. And then afterwards it gets into a melodic type after that I was like, oh yeah, this song's going to be really cool and like a really rocking song and a really heavy song. And then after that kind of gets into a melodic tone voice with Mike Shinoda singing, and then gets back into the chorus, which is Chester Bennington screaming. And then afterwards is a rap part, which is a rapping part by Mike Shinoda, which was actually pretty impressive. I like that part of the song, and it's pretty good, actually. So it kind of reminded me a little bit of a little bit of Meteora, a little bit, and a little bit of Hybrid Theory. Not really all that much though, but yeah, I thought the song is pretty. I thought the song is pretty good. And then we get to the next song, which this song is awesome. Okay, this is my 3rd favorite song off of the entire album. I'll get to my top 6, by the way, because there's 12 tracks on this album, so I have to pick the top half. Next song is called All for Nothing, featuring Paige Hamilton from the band Helmet, which I'm going to be seeing in concert this Saturday. Now this song starts off with a really distorted heaviness on the like a really distorted guitar thing, and then it starts off and it's kind of heavy, you know. Well, it's Linkin Park. They can be heavy all they fucking want, for all I care. But yeah, and then it has Mike Shinoda rapping, which is pretty good, and the song sounds pretty good. And then it gets to the chorus part, and that's when Paige Hamilton comes in. It blew my mind when I first heard when he came in, because I was kind of familiar with the band Helmet, but not all that much. And he comes in, it kind of sounds like Anthem-ish, like when the chorus comes in. So I was like, oh, wow, that sounds kind of cool. And then also another chorus part which comes in, which is kind of a chanting part, I guess, which I expected from the song. A chanting part with Chester Bennington and Paige Hamilton, I think, or Chester Bennington and Mike Shinoda. And yeah, so that song, I first heard it, thought it was awesome. One of the best songs off the entire album. And then we get to track 3, which is the first single off this album, which is called Guilty All the Same. Now I'm going to be stressing this right now. I like the song. It's overplayed on the radio though. On rock radio, way too overplayed. Every time I turn on rock radio, this song is playing. Not saying the song is bad, but I will say I do not like the radio edit version of this song. I don't think anyone does of radio edit versions of songs. Hell, the song Jesus of Suburbia by Green Day from American Idiot, track 2, by the way. I don't know why I have that memorized. Song is over 9 minutes long. Radio edit, 4.5 minutes. You don't do that. Guilty All the Same. The song starts off. It's actually pretty long in the beginning. It's like this really, like before the song starts. It's kind of the same way with the song Keys to the Kingdom and All for Nothing. After the song ends, there's like at the end of the song Keys to the Kingdom, there's a kid saying something. I don't want to say it, but there's a kid talking in the background, and then afterwards you hear Mike Shinoda or someone in the studio say, "Hey, try that other thing." Then the song All for Nothing starts, and at the end of this song, there's kind of a drone noise in the background. Not a drone noise, just a noise in the background. And then I hear, I think it's Brad Delson, I'm not sure, Brad Delson and Mike Shinoda talking to each other. And Mike Shinoda, I think, turns over and he says to Brad, whoever, just leave in the comments who's talking to them in the song. They're just like, hey, put that heavy shit right there. And the song Guilty All the Same starts, and it starts off with Brad Delson on guitar and Rob Burton on the drums, and they're just starting off, and it's kind of really distorted. Sounds like it's kind of distant, and then it builds up and starts, and the song really heavy, kind of sounds like a moshing type of thing, or just you can headbang to it, I guess. And then the song is about to reach its heaviest point, which it kind of does, and then Brad Delson breaks out in, I guess, kind of a guitar solo. I don't know if that's just a riff or a guitar solo. It goes throughout the entire song, so it's kind of just a riff, and then that goes on for about a minute and a half of the song, and then Chester Bennington starts singing. You've heard the song before, so you already know that. And then I guess the meaning behind the song, you're guilty all the same. You're guilty all the same. Too sick to be ashamed. You want to point your finger, but there's no one else to blame. I guess the song is kind of about it's directed at a person or people in general, I guess, who they always want to point their finger, they always want to blame someone else, but they've finally come to a point where they're guilty all the same. So you want to point your finger and blame someone else, but there's no one else to blame, so you're the one who's guilty, not anyone else. And then Rakim comes, and then I think about 3 or 4 minutes into the song, Rakim comes in, he starts doing his rap part in the song. It's kind of pushed, aimed at the music industry itself. I don't know why he did that. I guess I don't know if he's saying that music industry kind of sucks, or if he's just saying that people forgot about him or something. Rakim, nobody forgot about Rakim. He's fucking awesome, by the way. But yeah, it's kind of directed towards those just the music industry people and stuff. So yeah. And then the song ends with Chester Bennington doing one last thing, and then it gets back in the heavy part. Song ends, and then it goes into the next song, which is an instrumental song called The Summoning, which only lasts for 1 minute. So yeah, the song Summoning, it's kind of just, it sounds like it's building up, and it's just every once in a while, guitar will come in with the bass and all that stuff, and drums and all that. And then the song ends, it goes into the next song, which, holy shit, the next song. But, yeah, and then the song ends. It kind of sounds like people are at a kid's baseball game. That's just me. Then the song gets into the next song, which is called War. My God, I love this song. If there's any song off this album that I will say is probably in my mind will go down as one of my favorite Linkin Park songs ever made, is this song, War. The song, of course, is about war. The song, it sounds like a punk rock song. It sounds like a 90s-ish punk rock song, because that's pretty much what their influence of this album was. Little side note, the reason why it's called The Hunting Party is because, I guess Mike Shinoda heard this one interview with these people talking about this new day and age. Kids are they don't think that they can do stuff, and they're kind of turning into herbivores, and they're kind of just going back to like they don't think they can do anything. They're not going out and getting a job, and they want them to turn back into carnivores. Mike Shinoda said that's kind of how he feels about the music industry right now. Like he always wanted this like the '90s style, like the heavy stuff, like the band Helmet or At the Drive-In and all that stuff. He wanted that heavy stuff, but he could never find it. That's the influence for the album The Hunting Party, and that's why it's called The Hunting Party, because they were hunting for the heavy music that they used to listen to. Now they made an album about it. Back to the song War. Now, the song starts off, it's like a kind of heavy, like a guitar riff, guitar chord. I don't know if it's a riff. It's like the same guitar chord, only played in like different octaves. Landon told me that. Yeah. So, yeah, the song starts off. It's like I can't do sound effects, so I'm not going to. But it starts off, and then you hear Chester Bennington in the background, and Rob Burton is hitting his drumsticks together. Hear Chester Bennington count off like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the song starts off. It's really fast. The song only goes on for 2 minutes and 11 seconds, which you may be sitting there thinking it's a song by Linkin Park. Why is it so short? This song, unlike the song "Victimize" off of Living Things, this song actually doesn't leave you wanting more. I think this song has enough inside the song to make a person satisfied with a song that's only 2 minutes 11 seconds long. Unlike the song "Victimize" on Living Things, that song, as soon as it gets heavy and as soon as you're about to get into it, oh, and it's over. Yeah, and this song's only 1 minute and 17 seconds long. This song, 2 minutes 11 seconds. This song has just the right amount of speed for me. Right amount of like screaming, kind of. Right amount of kick-ass lyrics, and an awesome, really fast guitar solo, which is awesome. Even though he does use a lot of wah pedal in it, I think it's still pretty awesome. So yeah, the song War, favorite song off the entire album. Love that song. Song War, awesome song by Linkin Park. Hope they play it live. That is the one song I want to see, I want to hear or see Linkin Park play live, because I want to know how that song go if he played it live. Then after the song War, we get into the next song, which is track 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sixth song off this album, which is called Wastelands, and the song starts off kind of the same way as the song War did, because it's kind of not really War. It kind of starts off like the song Guilty All the Same a little bit, where it's like really heavy, and then you get into Mike Shinoda's rapping, which sounds really fast and kind of not fast, but like really aggressive and all that stuff. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm not disappointed in this song. I think the song is awesome. But I thought when the chorus came in on this song, I didn't know that it was gonna be kind of not really melodic, but like kind of like slower paced and just like actual singing. I thought like the chorus of the song was gonna be like chanting a little bit, but oh well, the song is pretty fucking awesome. Actually, it's one of my favorite songs off the album. But I still was kind of hoping for like the chant, like a chanting chorus for this song, because I could really get into that. But honestly, I'm pretty satisfied with the way that they did on that song. The Wastelands of Today. You know, I'm not big on reviewing songs for what their meanings are. I just review them on how the way they sound. Wastelands is a good song to me. And then we get into the next song, which is the second single off the album, which is the slowest song off the entire album, kind of. The song is called Until It's Gone, and you may be thinking, because the rest of this album is kind of a heavy album, that I would be disappointed on where they went with with that song. No. That song is actually better than the song, in my opinion, a little better than the song Wastelands. No, never mind. I like Wastelands a little better, but still, this is actually one of my favorite songs off of the album, and I actually kind of like the way that Linkin Park goes with their more melodic ways. Hence the fact that Living 1,000 Suns is my third favorite album by them. So yeah, until it's gone. Meaning of the song is kind of simple, a little redundant, a little like overdone, but I still really like the song, and I like the meaning behind it. I like the way it sounds, and I like just the overall way of this song. I love the fact there's a little snippet of screaming in the song by Chester Bennington, so that was good. Song, kind of in the title. You don't know what you got until it's gone. Pretty straightforward with that song. Really good song though. I really like that song. I think it's kind of awesome. And then we get into the next song, which is called Rebellion, and holy shit, this song. This song features Darren Malakian. How do you pronounce his last name? He's Armenian. It's kind of confusing. Darren Malakian. You don't know who he is. He's the guitarist for the band System of a Down. If you don't know who System of a Down is, click away from this video now. But yeah, Darren Malakian from System of a Down. Argue with me about this all you want, but I am serious about this. The way this song started off, I didn't think it was going to be that aggressive, but then the song starts off, and I was like, whoa. And then the singing comes in, chorus comes in, and then the screaming comes in. Look at me dead in the eyes and tell me that this song could not be a song by System of a Down. See, you can't say it, because this song sounds like it could be by System of a Down. Don't believe me? Take this song and put Serj Tankian inside of it. Serj Tankian's lead singer of System of a Down. Why did you not know that? Serj Tankian from System of a Down. Make him the singer in the song. Make all the rest of the people from System of a Down, including Darren, make him make that song. Tell me that song would not sound good, and it could not belong on Toxicity, Hypnotized, Memorized, Steal This Album, or their first album. That song sounds like a System of a Down song, and I love System of a Down, and I love that song. Song Rebellion. It's kind of in the title. We are the fortunate ones. Imitations of rebellion. So the song's kind of about rebellion, I think, or like the imitations of rebellion. It's a good song. Probably one of my favorite songs off the album. Then we get into the next song. Mark the Graves. I'm gonna be honest. I like this song. Not one of my favorites off the album. But whenever I listen to this album and I think about the album, The Hunting Party, I kind of forget about the song Mark the Graves. I mean, that's kind of just me. I mean, I like the way that the song sounds. I like the way that the chorus sounds on this, but of all the songs off this album, that song's a little forgetful. I still think it's a good song. It's just one of the forgetful ones off the album. In fact, right now I'm not even remembering how the song goes. So, yeah, that song, Mark the Graves, good, a little forgetful, still pretty good though. Then we get to the next song, which is the only song off this album that I was extremely disappointed in. So for a while on iTunes, they had a thing where you could go in and you could listen to the entire album of Linkin Park's The Hunting Party in its entirety. The one song I was really excited for off this album is this song, Drawbar, featuring Tom Morello. You know who Tom Morello is. He's in my opinion, one of the greatest guitarists of all time. He is not only, in Rage Against the Machine, he was not only the guitar player, but the DJ for the band, because they're a rap metal band, and he made Audioslave sound awesome. So I was expecting, oh, Linkin Park, a band that was influenced by Rage Against the Machine, Soundgarden, and Audioslave. By the way, Tom Morello's not in Soundgarden. Just wanted to point out that that is something that involved Chris Cornell. Chris Cornell, not Chris Cornell, but Chris Cornell, yeah. So I was expecting, oh, I know that Linkin Park, they were kind of influenced by them, and I know that Brad Delson is a huge fan of Tom Morello. So when I saw that, I thought, oh, this is going to be a really, really good song. It's going to be like a Rage Against the Machine sounding song, or it's going to be really heavy, and it's going to be kind of a song about anti-establishment or all that stuff, and it's going to be by Linkin Park, and it's going to have an awesome guitar solo by Tom Morello, or it's going to go the other way and kind of sound like Audioslave, or it can be really melodic and it can be really serious and stuff, and then it can have a really, really good like guitar solo by Tom Morello, like in the song Like a Stone, where you can just like chill out and listen to the song. They made an instrumental song with Tom Morello. I know that it sounds like what Tom Morello would do with his guitar, but imagine this, will you? Imagine one day, Brad Delson walks up to Mike Shinoda walks up to Brad Delson or any of the other members of Linkin Park, or Chester Bennington did that, walks up to him and says, "Hey guys, I have an idea for an instrumental song. It's going to be mostly piano, but we're going to have a really cool sounding guitar in the background." "Oh, cool, that sounds like a really good idea. Hey Brad, do you think you could do this? Oh, I don't know. I don't really know if I could do that with my guitar. I mean, it's kind of hard. I don't know. Oh, you know who I'm a really big fan of that can do that with their guitar? Oh, who? Oh, do you know the Rage Against the Machine guitarist, Tom Morello? Oh yeah, dude, he's awesome. Oh yeah, dude, we should have him as a special guest on our new album, The Hunting Party, for that song that you have. Oh, you mean the instrumental song Drawbar? Oh yeah, he'd be perfect for that song. But that song is really, really short, and the guitar is not even the main part of it. It's mainly piano. Well, you know, it'd be pretty cool to have him in the album. They wasted Tom Morello. I'm sorry, but the song sounds good, but I am saying this right now. You could easily have this song with the rest of the members of Linkin Park. Brad Delson could learn how to do that on a guitar. All you really need is a wah pedal. And you could easily just have him do that on a guitar. It sounds the same. It's the only song that wastes, like, I like the song, it's a pretty good song. I just seriously think that they really misused Tom Morello for that song. An instrumental song where the main part of it is piano and it's just made to lead into another song. Why'd you have to use Tom Morello? And why'd you have to say that you've used him? You could have just said Drawbar, instrumental song, next song, featuring Tom Morello. Ugh. Now, thankfully, the next song made it so I would give this album a positive review and actually quite enjoy this album. By the way, just so you know, I'm not saying that that one song is gonna ruin it for me, but there's always bad songs on albums. Sometimes. So the next song on the album is called Final Masquerade. I love this song. It's probably not going to be on my top 6 favorite songs of this album, but this song is pretty awesome. I love the beginning drum thing for this song, and I love how the chorus sounds and how it's kind of melodic, and it kind of sounds like, I don't like Living Things, but it sounds like this could be a song of a Living Things, and it would be a song that would kind of save that album from not being from just being alright to being a really good being a really good album. I will say this, I think my favorite part of the entire song is the beginning of the song when Rob Burton, the drummer, he's doing that little drum fill that he's doing at the beginning of the song. Listen to that part of the song, and to the beginning of this song, and then listen to the song Bullet the Blue Sky by U2. The songs both have drum fills in the beginning of their songs, and both songs are pretty awesome, and I don't know. I'm not saying the songs sound alike, they sound nothing alike, I'm just saying that drum part kind of sounds similar. But yeah, song Final Masquerade is actually the newest single off this album. I think it's a pretty good song, and yeah, I don't know, it's mainly Chester Bennington in the song, which is actually not the majority of this album. It's not like Minutes to Midnight where every frickin' song was Chester Bennington on lead vocals. So yeah, Final Masquerade, pretty good song. And then we get on to my second favorite song off this album, A Line in the Sand. Now I know what you're asking. Hey Connor, why is the song A Line in the Sand your second favorite song off the album? Why isn't it your favorite song off the album? Well, first off, nothing can beat the song War off this album. Reason why it's number 2 and my second favorite song off this album, I believe that the song A Line in the Sand, like Mike Shinoda said, takes everything Linkin Park has ever done from all 5 other albums that they've ever done, puts it into one song. I will prove you about that. Beginning of the song sounds like something off of A Thousand Suns with its melodic nature and its electronic feel. Riff off this song sounds like it could be the sequel to the song Victimized off of Living Things, but it has that edge to it where it can sound like something off of Minutes to Midnight, like the song Given Up or No More Sorrow, which are the best songs off that album, by the way. The chorus with Chester Bennington, his vocals off of that sound like a heavier track off of Minutes to Midnight, but the screaming by him sounds like something off of Meteora. The rap part in this song sounds like something off of Hybrid Theory. And then the ending of the song goes back to that A Thousand Suns feel, and the very, very last chord of the song, you're going to be looking at me really weird here, very, very last chord in the song, right before the song ends, like a few seconds before that, play the song The Catalyst right after that song, sounds like they would go together. This song is awesome, features, it's like pretty much everything Linkin Park has ever done put into one song. How can you not go wrong with that? So now that I've reviewed every track, I'm going to pick my top half. So after giving it much thought, I took 10 minutes to do this, by the way. After giving this album much thought, on my top six or top half favorite tracks off this album, I'd have to say my top six favorite tracks off this album are Keys to the Kingdom, um, yeah, Keys to the Kingdom, Wastelands, Rebellion, All for Nothing, A Line in the Sand, and War. Top six favorite songs, War being my favorite song off this album, second song being A Line in the Sand. Almost tied for first favorite song off this album, but yeah, that's my top six favorite songs off this album. Now we're going to be looking at everything that surrounds this, front cover, back cover, inside, booklet, which has no lyrics by the way, and for some reason, actual front cover. But before I get into the inside outside actual CD and all that stuff for this album, I want to stress something right here. I'm figuring this out right now after reviewing this album and after listening to it so much. I've heard a lot of people say about this album, there's a few things. Either A, the regular Linkin Park fan who says, oh, new Linkin Park album, this is awesome, or a hardcore Linkin Park fan who thinks that only the old stuff is good, who's like, oh, this new album's gonna suck because it's not Hybrid Theory or Meteora, or sometimes I hear like some music reviewers, like I've heard some music reviewers say, oh, this is Linkin Park going back to their older sound because it sounds heavy and it sounds like Hybrid Theory or Meteora. I disagree. This album, in its entirety, with the heaviness and stuff and the way that it sounds like Minutes to Midnight Part 2. Not saying that's a bad thing. I thoroughly enjoy Minutes to Midnight. It's my fourth favorite album by them. Yeah, it's pretty much my fourth favorite album by them. But all I want to say is, honestly, some of the songs off this album sound like the heavier songs. Well, there's only two heavy songs off of Minutes to Midnight. The heavier songs off of Minutes to Midnight. So, in a sense, I think this album is a little bit of like Minutes to Midnight Part 2. Only, I describe this album as Minutes to Midnight's heavier little brother. Yeah, that's how I would describe that. Because honestly, Minutes to Midnight, it had a few heavy songs on there, like "Giving Up" and "No More Sorrow," the heaviest songs off that album. "Bleed It Out" is kind of heavy, and "What I've Done" is kind of heavy. But the rest of the songs are kind of soft and melodic, like the song "Little Things Give You Away" in Pieces. In Between is the most melodic and softest song on there. "Shadow of the Day" is a song about giving up. Yeah, you thought it was a love song, didn't you? Nope, that song's about giving up. Yeah. And then the song "Leave Out All the Rest," which is the rest of the album, by the way. All those songs are kind of like the soft and melodic versions. This sounds like all the heavy songs off of Minutes to Midnight, but more of them. So it's, as I said, Minutes to Midnight's heavier little brother, so kind of Minutes to Midnight too. I was actually expecting that from a new Linkin Park album that kind of has the heaviness. I didn't really want them to go back to the Hybrid Theory and Meteora stage because back then they were kind of just, they were singing about teenage angst, and a 30-something-year-old person singing about teenage angst kind of doesn't really make sense to me. So yeah. Now we're going to get on to the inside, outside, outside, CD, booklet, actual front cover, as I said for some reason, and back. So yeah. Yeah, again. Haunting Party. Minutes to Midnight's little brother. So if we look at the front cover of this album, we will see the thing that Mike Shinoda calls, it's the artwork. I don't know who made the art, but on this album, they call it the Archer, or the Hunting Party Archer. And it has a picture, it's upside down. It's kind of an upside down or sideways or whatever picture. It looks like, I'm not going to say Indian because that'd be kind of racist, but Native American. Looks like a Native American bow with like the arrow coming out of it. And I guess Linkin Park has recently become obsessed with crystals because there are crystals around there, and it looks like he's about to fire off the bow, so that's pretty cool actually. Here's the thing I don't understand though. You know how a booklet is supposed to go, right? It's supposed to go sideways, right? And it's supposed to go like this. Yeah, booklet, sideways. And if I were to put it right, I had to put it upside down, which would kind of make sense because, yeah. But yeah, and then also the rest of it, when you look, and then on here, on it, you have all the members of Linkin Park: Mike Shinoda, Joe Hahn, Chester Bennington, Rob Burden, Dave Farrell or Phoenix, and Brad Delson. First time I've ever done that without stuttering. Wow. And also on the back of the album, well, it has like all the thanks that Linkin Park does. On the back right here, it actually has what it's supposed to look like. Hunting Party. The front cover has that, which is like a little poem. Those lyrics are not in any part of the album, for all I know. It says The Hunting Party at the bottom. Has all the names of the tracks all the way down, going down, and then has this, which looks like a totem pole covered in arrows. Now here's the weird thing about that. This booklet has the front cover of the album on it, but as you can see, the front cover of the album is still on there. That's because this is actually just a sheet of paper, kind of cardboard feeling. It has the front cover, the Linkin Park, The Hunting Party. On the back says Linkin Park, The Hunting Party. Warner Brothers Records, Machine Shop. I don't know what that is. But yeah, it also came with a Linkin Park Underground subscription, but I haven't been a part of Linkin Park Underground since 2007, so yeah. Back of the album, pretty plain, black, says names of the tracks, which are, as you already know, Keys to the Kingdom, All for Nothing featuring Paige Hamilton, Guilty of the Same featuring Rakim, The Summoning, War, Wastelands Until It's Gone, Rebellion featuring Darren Millican, Mark the Graves, Drawbar featuring Tom Morello, kind of, and Final Masquerade, A Line in the Sand. So yeah, that was Linkin Park's The Hunting Party, the album that was put out June 17th, 2014. What do I think about this album? 8.5 out of 10. I almost gave this just a plain 8 out of 10, but thankfully the song A Line in the Sand saved that. One song is not going to make a difference for me, so The Summoning is probably the only other song that I don't really like off this album. Not saying that I don't like instrumental songs off of on Linkin Park albums. In fact, the whole album, almost the whole album of 1,000 Suns is mainly instrumental songs, but it kind of feels like they're supposed to be there. The Summoning feels like you could have had Guilty of the Same and just went into the song War, so really the song Summoning doesn't really need to be there. Drawbar feels like it needs to be there, but feels like if Tom Morello wasn't in the song, it'd be just as good, and Brad Delson could do that, so they kind of, not saying that sounds like I don't like Tom Morello. I love Tom Morello, but it felt like they could have done an actual track with him, not an instrumental track leading into Final Masquerade. So yeah, 8.5 out of 10, which means that it would be my 4th favorite album by Linkin Park so far. If you don't remember, Meteor, Hybrid Theory, 1,000 Suns, Hunting Party, Minutes to Midnight, and Living Things. That's how my Linkin Park albums go right now. Linkin Park, 5th favorite band of all time. Hunting Party, so far kind of on my list for my favorite albums of 2014. Not that many albums have came out this year that I like, though. So I have not listened to Jack White's Lazarello yet, so I don't know if it's amazing or groundbreaking, or if it's disappointing and it sucks. So I'll still have to listen to that. Maybe that'll be my next CD. Maybe that'll be my next album review. So yeah, Linkin Park's The Hunting Party review, 8.5 out of 10. 3, 2, 1. I'm done. Subscribe. Goodbye.